Guys, this is S&P 500 weekly technical analysis for the week of February 24th, 2025. The S&P 500 made an all-time high on 19th of February and the all-time high was 6147.43. And for last many months, I've repeatedly mentioned that the expected peak or zone for the S&P 500 for the season will be 614x, and when the S&P 500 hit the peak on Wednesday, then it was very much clear that now in the coming days, any day, any time, the S&P 500 can give up. But irrespective of anything, the bullish movement will stop. So now within 2 days, on Thursday and Friday, after S&P 500 hit the expected zone, expected peak, it has lost more than 2.25% within 2 days. And yesterday on Friday, there was very heavy fall, extremely heavy fall. But the heavy fall was not triggered by the S&P 500 itself. The heavy fall was triggered by the Dow Jones. Because in my important update to my Patreon community members, all of my members on February 20th, I mentioned that in this case, the major problem will be created by the Dow Jones. Because if the Dow Jones closes below 442xx, this my calculated resistance level, then it will be susceptible to lose more by 1% as early as tomorrow. So on Thursday, it worked perfectly, but because the closing on Thursday was 44,176, this is why it has opened the room for 1% fall as early as on Friday. And when there will be 1% fall in the Dow Jones, then at the same time there will be heavy fall in the S&P 500. So now the question is that the expected peak was there, okay, and the S&P 500 tested, okay, and then there was a rejection from the zone. Consecutively, we have seen two bearish, okay, candles, more than 2.25% fall. So what next? Whether the correction will be triggered or the correction has already been triggered, okay, or if this correction will be converted into the recession. So I will discuss that in detail, each and everything in this S&P 500 weekly technical analysis through the movement, through the technicals, through the patterns and through the numbers. Now before I discuss the technical analysis on the weekly chart and other things, let me give you a quick recap of what was anticipated to happen in the previous week and what exactly was seen and how accurate was my previous S&P 500 weekly technical analysis. On Tuesday, on 18th of February, the high was 6129.63 and the low was 6099. And this was my midday update to my Patreon community members on Tuesday. And here I mentioned that there can or will be the movement in the market only when there comes a breach of either of these two, the 6128 and the trend line. The S&P 500 managed to breach 6128 and made an all-time high at 6129.63, means 6130. And this has changed the entire equation, because the next day now it was confirmed that on Wednesday S&P 500 highly likely will test the 614x zone, its expected peak. And on Wednesday, in my midday update to my Patreon community members, and here I mentioned that the bullish side will remain limited to or restricted to the zone even in the best case scenario. Then it was very much clear that now from Thursday onwards, any day, any time, either it will enter into the consolidation, okay, or it will simply give up. Only these two cases, but no more bullish movement. So this was my midday update to my Patreon community members on Thursday, and everything worked as it was expected, but the only thing that we were not expecting was the open equal to high condition. But the real problem was mentioned in the final update on Thursday. The final update. What was so special in the final update? This was point number 2, that closing of the SP500 and Dow Jones in the open equal to high condition, wherein neither of these indices breaches their respective open prices. These were the open prices on Thursday. indicates more bearish pressure on the market in a manner that tomorrow means Friday. On Friday, irrespective of any open, there will be an initial or intraday bearish movement. Okay, and also there may come a gap down open on Friday. So a gap down open, initial or intraday bearish movement. And the major problem will be created by the Dow Jones. Okay, 1% fall in the Dow Jones on Friday if such a condition is seen. What I'm trying to say is that on Friday, S&P 500 was supposed to lose a maximum to 604x. And this was the worst case scenario. But even before 604x, there was a trend line, there was a moving average at 606x. So although the movement of the S&P 500 was as expected from Tuesday to Friday, the only thing that was not anticipated was this fall below 604x. And the second thing was this open equal to high condition. So these were the two things that I missed. Otherwise, the movement was as expected, as anticipated. Through these daily precise updates of the S&P 500, which I give to my Patreon community members every day from Monday through Friday. So guys, if you are also looking for these daily precise updates of the S&P 500 every day from Monday through Friday, then you can join my Patreon community. I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. Now guys, I am going to discuss the agenda of this S&P 500 weekly technical analysis. So the first point of the agenda is the S&P 500 technical analysis on the weekly chart. The weekly chart is still bullish, okay, but because of this last very heavy bearish candle, the Dow Jones is creating a problem. Dow Jones has gone more bearish. Last week also Dow Jones was bearish, okay, and that is why in the previous week, I anticipated that the best case scenario for the S&P 500 will be this, the mark and the zone, that's it, in the bull side, and there will be heavy probability that it can come down anytime, any day. But now the weekly chart is more weak, not just in the Dow Jones but also in the S&P 500. This is going to create more pressure on the S&P 500, but this does not mean that the S&P 500 is going to lose more and there will not be any bullish retrace. No, not at all. So that I will discuss on this is a weekly chart. I will show you the chart, I will show you the technicals and everything. Second point of the agenda is the S&P 500 technical analysis on the daily chart. Daily chart, well, it's a problem, okay, because now the MACD and the stochastic RSI, in both of these the cases, S&P 500 and Dow Jones are bearish, means the momentum is bearish, but still the moving averages are holding, okay, trend lines are holding, Ichimoku is holding, some other factors are still holding. That is why I am saying that there are still chances that it can actually take a reversal, and there is one more chance for the S&P 500 to move up and to test the zone, okay, but this is conditional, purely conditional, okay. Third and the last point of the agenda is the probable movement of the SP 500 from February 24th, which is Monday, through February 28th, that will be Friday. Whatever is going to happen in the S&P 500, Dow Jones, and in a manner to the entire market, I am going to discuss that in this, the last point of the agenda. So just like last week, I mentioned that on Tuesday, there are chances that there will be a gap up open, okay, and it is expected to trade in between 6128 and the trend line, and exactly the same was seen on Tuesday, okay. Then when it moves up, okay, it will hit the zone and it will struggle, okay. There will be only two conditions, but the bullish condition will not be there, okay. And when it comes down, then 6042 will be there, etc, etc. So I will discuss that in third and the last point of the agenda. And guys, also let me remind you that all of these three sections are interrelated, are interconnected. This is why when I say the probable movement, by the time I come to discuss the third point of the agenda, I have already discussed some of the probable movement, like 30% to 40% of the probable movement in the first and the second point of the agenda. This is why it is recommended that you should watch all of these three sections in order to understand what is going to happen in the S&P 500 and how that is going to happen. So now guys, I'm going to discuss the first point of the agenda here, and this is the weekly chart. Weekly chart means one candle represents 1 week, not 1 day or 1 hour. One candle means 1 week. Okay. Now let's first discuss this, the last candle, the last weekly candle for the week of February 18th. But guys, before that, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you are looking for these daily precise updates of the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones every day from Monday through Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, then you can join my Patreon community. I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. Now this last candle is a very heavy bearish candle. Okay, this means that on Monday or Tuesday, okay, or in the entire week, irrespective of anything, there will be weakness in the market in a manner that if the market will try to move up, it will feel pressure and the bullish movement will be normal and will not be heavy, or the bullish movement will be limited or is expected to be limited. Monday, Tuesday, okay, for the rest of the week, but especially on Monday or Tuesday, okay. Irrespective of any open, there will be an initial or intraday bearish movement in the market. Market means S&P 500, Dow Jones, Nasdaq, okay. And because these are the major indices, this means that the entire market, okay, will behave like this. Gap down open cannot be confirmed in this case. Okay, there is a heavy bearishness, everything is bearish, very heavy bearish, but still the gap down open cannot be confirmed because the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones are trading at the overstretched levels on the lower level charts. Okay, if there would have been a closing above 604x, then definitely a gap down open was confirmed. Okay, but not in this manner. So this means that on Monday, okay, there may or may not come a gap down open, but what will happen is an initial or intraday bearish movement will happen. It is expected not just on Monday but Tuesday, or Monday or Tuesday. Okay, the impact of this candle will be heavily seen on Monday and Tuesday. This is the Dow Jones. Now question is that why I am discussing the Dow Jones? The reason is that this heavy fall that you are seeing here, yesterday 1.75% fall in the S&P 500, this was triggered by the Dow Jones. Okay, so generally what happens in the S&P 500 or Nasdaq, okay, bullish or bearish, it is always looked through the Dow Jones. Okay, and I always analyze the Dow Jones in order to confirm that whatever we are predicting or whatever I am predicting here will certainly happen for like 100% or not. Okay, if the Dow Jones confirms, then definitely that will happen. Now, through the Dow Jones, what we can see here is that there is a heavy bearish candle. Also, the closing of the candle is below the trend line. Also the closing of the candle is below the moving average. Whereas in this case, in case of the S&P 500, the closing of the candle is still above the moving average. This is very big relief. This is very big relief for the S&P 500. Okay, and also guys, you must know this thing that yesterday on 21st of February, it was the monthly expiry. It was the monthly expiry of the options. Okay, so this was again one of the factors why the fall was accelerated. Okay, after losing 606x and then 604x, but 606x primarily. Okay, so now the Dow Jones is indicating on Monday or on Tuesday, okay, or on both of these days, irrespective of any open, an initial or intraday bearish movement. Now the gap down open, there are chances because the closing is below the moving average, okay, and there was a heavy fall on Friday. So there are chances that there may come a gap down open through the Dow Jones, but a gap down open through the S&P 500 is not confirmed. So what all of this indicates in the Dow Jones or in the S&P 500? All of this indicates that irrespective of anything, any movement, any open or anything, okay, on Monday, there will be Monday, including Tuesday, there will be an initial or intraday bearish movement. The market will remain under pressure. There may or may not come a gap down open. Chances of seeing gap down open are more through the Dow Jones, not through the S&P 500. Okay. Now let's analyze the technicals. In terms of the technicals, okay, what you can notice is that moving average is clear fan out bullish. S&P 500 is still bullish through the moving averages on the weekly chart. It is bullish through the Bollinger Bands. It is bullish through the Ichimoku cloud, and the S&P 500 is bearish through the MACD and is bearish through the stochastic RSI, and that is not good, not good, not good. Okay, because for last many weeks it managed to sustain, but now this time, okay, this is not good. So bearish MACD and bearish stochastic RSI means bearish momentum, okay, bearish. This means that irrespective of anything, okay, any day, any movement, there may come sudden or sharp fall in the market in the S&P 500. Okay, so in this manner, the S&P 500 on the weekly chart will be seen or considered as 60% bullish. 60% bullish. See, remember, the trend has not changed. Okay, the trend has not changed. Trend is still bullish. For the trend to change, a lot of things have to be considered, and the market must give up, and for the trend to change, S&P 500 must be seen trading in the 57xx or 56xx. Okay, then only there will be the conditions that will indicate that the trend is changing and the market is entering into the correction or the recession. Okay, but until then it will remain bullish or neutral, but not bearish. Okay, so say if you are trading, if you are investing, if you are trading or investing, okay, considering the long term, in that case it is still bullish. Okay, from bullish it can change to neutral in next few weeks, like by the mid of March or in the last week of March. If it remains bearish, every week there comes a red candle, then in next 3 or 4 weeks it can change to neutral. Okay, but for this the trend to change actually to bearish, okay, it will take either until the end of the March, okay, or April. Now Dow Jones, okay, moving averages still fan out bullish, but because the closing was below the moving average, somewhat neutral but still bullish. Bollinger Bands bullish, Ichimoku cloud bullish, and last week it was creating the problem. MACD is bearish, stochastic RSI is bearish. Okay, and the most important part is this kind of slip, the slip in the MACD. Okay, this kind of slip, bearish slip. This is a bearish slip. So the momentum is bearish. Okay, and also there is a formation, the bearish slip is there. Okay, so again the Dow Jones will be considered as 60% bullish. So what does all of this means or indicate? 60% bullish, but the momentum is bearish. Okay, what will happen to the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones, okay, in terms of the movement? See, this is the 60% bullishness, okay, but the bearish pressure indicates market is allowed to trade bullish, to remain bullish, to retrace bullish. It is allowed, it is technically allowed. It is technically allowed to do so. Okay, that is why I am saying that the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones can still, the S&P 500 can test the zone. However, this bullish movement, this bullish retrace or bullish movement or bullishness, it will remain under pressure in a manner that the maximum S&P 500 can try for in the bull side will be the zone which starts from 614x, and then eventually it is expected to give up and to come down again. Okay, one more thing, that if the S&P 500 try to move up, then there is no guarantee. Okay, if you have subscribed to my YouTube channel for last many months or years, then generally, okay, I tell you like with 100% confidence, okay, this will happen, and that happens in the market. But in this case, now this time there is no guarantee, no 100% guarantee that the S&P 500 will be able to move up to test and hit or breach the 614x. Okay, this the resistance level and the zone which starts from 614x. Okay, this means that even if the S&P 500 try to move up, okay, then there are chances that during the retrace it can give up anytime. It will try to retrace and it can give up anytime. Anytime as in, see, the immediate resistance S&P 500 is going to face will be 604x. And remember, this 614x is not the same as 604x. These two are very different. So this is the 604x. This will be the first resistance that the S&P 500 will be facing, and only when the S&P 500 recovers the 604x, it will be able to move up further. Now, it will be able to move up further to what? Because then from 604x, there will be a trend line in the 605x. Okay, then there will be other levels. Then the most important one will be in 608x. So after 604x, it will be in the 608x. In between, there will be a trend line at 605x. Okay, otherwise 608x. Okay. If it recovers, manages to reach to 608x, okay, then comes 6100, okay, the psychological mark. This will create a small zone, okay. Only when there comes a closing, not one, but two consecutive closings above 6100, the S&P 500 will come into a condition to try for 614x, but still there will be no guarantee that it will be actually able to hit the 614x or not, because on Thursday the GDP data will be released in the morning, and on Friday the PCE or core PCE data will be released. So whatever S&P 500 has to do, means if it want to remain bullish, if it want to move up, then it will have to complete everything at most by Thursday, because Friday will be entirely different. Because Friday PCE and core PCE data, if it is seen or if it goes against the market, then expect a very heavy fall. That is why I am saying that if it manages to recover maximum by Wednesday, perfect, fine. Okay, but still I am giving one more day, Thursday. Okay, Thursday also it can try, but not Friday. But whether the S&P 500 will be able to recover or will fail, I will keep you posted through these daily precise updates of the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones. And these precise updates I give every day from Monday through Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, I give the pre-market update. Pre-market update is given before the open of the stock market, 1 or 2 hours before the open of the stock market. Then I give the midday update after 3 hours. Then I give the final update 1 or 2 hours before the closing of the stock market. And other than these daily precise updates of the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones, I also give the stock market opportunities in the premium stocks of the US stock market. Premium stock means the top 30 or 40 companies, the blue chips of the US stock market. And that's not all, because I also give the mid-week update. This mid-week update is a video technical analysis just like this, the weekly technical analysis, and I discuss in detail all of the levels, zones, probable movement. And because generally this mid-week update is given every Wednesday, 3 or 4 hours before the open of the stock market. So what will happen in the S&P 500 on Wednesday, on Thursday, on Friday? I discussed all of this in detail, including the precise numbers, levels, everything in this, the midweek update video technical analysis. So guys, if you are looking for these daily precise updates of the S&P 500 every day from Monday through Friday, then you can join my Patreon community. I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. And guys, when you follow that link, then you will see that this is my Patreon page. This is my Patreon profile. And here you will see the 3 levels. These 3 levels or 3 tiers. These 2 tiers are same. The only difference between these 2 tiers is the geographical location and nothing else. So when you subscribe to either of these 2, then you will be getting all midweek update videos, the daily SP500 analysis, updates, movement and levels and zones, the stock market opportunities minimum 5 to 10 every week. And when you subscribe to this, now this is a special tier, because in this tier you will be getting whatever you are going to get here, everything that is mentioned here. Other than that, you will be getting some more like entry and exit secrets, when to enter, when to exit, okay, when to book your profits, etc., etc. One premium hack, okay, premium hack which works with 100% accuracy and works with almost 100% of the times. Then one options trading strategy every month. Again, this strategy works 100% of the times and with 100% accuracy. Then you will be getting modified technical indicators and the options premium calculator, and there will be a one Zoom video session of 2 or 3 hours. So there will be a one-on-one Zoom video session, and I will teach you, I will tell you, I will share with you all of this, all of these secrets, hidden hacks, strategies through this Zoom video meeting. So this tier is very special because this allows you, or this gives you everything that is there, and also help you to learn more about the movement of the market, momentum, stock market secrets, and much more, so that you can become self-reliant. But if you are explicitly looking for these, the hacks, 8 hacks or the 4 hacks or the options trading strategies and the premium calculator, then you can visit the shop section on my Patreon page and you will find these programs. Okay, you can opt for any of these programs and you can learn the hacks, modified technicals, options trading strategies and the premium calculator. And guys, if you notice, many people have joined my Patreon community for last many days, weeks, months, years, and they are getting these daily precise updates of the S&P 500, Dow Jones, and in a manner to the entire market every day from Monday through Friday, and they are very well aware of what is happening, why that is happening, and what is going to happen next. So guys, whenever you want to join my Patreon community, I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. You can follow that link and you can join my Patreon community, and you are welcome. Now guys, I am going to discuss the second point of the agenda, and this is the daily chart. Daily chart means one candle represents one day, not 1 week or 1 hour. One candle means one day. Okay. Now let's first discuss this, the last candle. Okay, the candle that was formed on Friday, yesterday. So now if you notice, it's a very heavy bearish candle. There is no defined shape of the candle, but the high is almost equal to the open, almost equal to, okay, but not exactly. It is almost equal to the open, and the close is almost equal to the low. Okay, in this manner, it's a very heavy bearish candle, indicating that on Monday, irrespective of any open, there will be an initial or intraday bearish movement. Number one. Number two, on Monday, there may come a gap down open. Now comes the Dow Jones. This is the last daily candle of the Dow Jones. Okay. Once again, a heavy bearish candle. Okay, there was a heavy gap down open. Okay, and then the fall. This candle indicates that on Monday, irrespective of any open, an initial or intraday bearish movement. So what we have seen again and again on the daily and the weekly chart is that it is confirmed irrespective of any open on Monday. Okay, and also this can be extended to Tuesday. Irrespective of any open, there will be an initial or intraday bearish movement. This is very, very much clear. Number two, about the gap down open. Gap down open is not 100% confirmed. It may or may not be seen. Okay, but what is confirmed, irrespective of anything, an initial or intraday bearish movement in the market. Okay, this is clear. Now, this when we look into this through the technicals, okay. But before that, guys, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And so far, if you appreciate my work, then hit like. And if you want to get these daily precise updates of the S&P 500 every day from Monday through Friday, then you can join my Patreon community. I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. Now let's discuss the technicals. Moving averages, okay, clear fan out indicating bullish movement, but because the closing of the candle is in between the moving averages, this means that it will be considered or seen as neutral and not bullish. So S&P 500 is neutral through the moving averages on the daily chart. S&P 500 is bearish through the Bollinger Bands on the daily chart. S&P 500 is bullish through the Ichimoku cloud on the daily chart. S&P 500 is bearish through the MACD. Because of this very heavy fall, S&P 500 lost the MACD. MACD is now bearish. If the closing would have seen in like 60 above 6072 yesterday, then there would not have been this the bearish crossover in the MACD. Okay, it would have then it would have remained bullish, but now it is bearish. Stochastic RSI is also bearish. Okay, no saturation and nothing. So overall, the thing is that on the daily chart, the S&P 500 is more bearish. Okay, so on the daily chart, S&P 500 is 70% bearish. 70% bearish. Okay, now comes the Dow Jones. Now in terms of the Dow Jones, okay, this is not good because now the moving averages are indicating a bearish crossover. Okay, but at the same time, this thing allows a bullish retrace, okay, in the Dow Jones. And when there will be a bullish retrace, then this bullish retrace will also be seen or will also be felt in the S&P 500. Okay, so S&P, so far there is a fan out in the moving averages, okay, but it is neutral, okay, because of the same condition, fan out but closing below all of the moving averages. Through the Bollinger Bands, bearish, Ichimoku cloud, it is bullish, the Dow Jones on the daily chart, and MACD stochastic RSI bearish. Okay, so again, Dow Jones will be seen or considered as 70% bearish on the daily chart. On the weekly chart, S&P 500 is 60% bullish. On the daily chart, it is 70% bearish. The same condition, exactly the same condition is seen in the Dow Jones. What does this indicate? Okay, it indicates the same thing, that the S&P 500 is allowed to remain bullish and is allowed to trade bullish and is allowed to get a bullish retrace or is allowed to recover. But when it will try to recover, and it is not just about S&P 500, but it is also about the Dow Jones and Nasdaq. But when it will try to recover, it will feel pressure. It will feel pressure in a manner that it will remain susceptible for a fall. It can come down any time before actually trying for the key levels like 608x, 614x. Okay, before it can try for these the key levels, it can come down. So bullish movement will be susceptible for a fall. But also at the same time, you must understand, even if there comes a gap down open on Monday, okay, or a fall, and the S&P 500 trades in 59xx, then also because of that 60% bullishness, okay, and also because of this condition of the Dow Jones, because now Dow Jones has reached to the point, my calculated heavy support level. Although it missed my support level by a very few points and it closed at 43,428, okay, but it has reached very near to my heavy support level, and also there comes the Ichimoku cloud, so it is going to get double technical support, double or very heavy technical support, okay, to get a reversal. This means that if there comes a flat open or a little gap up open or a very little gap down open, not heavy, but a little gap down open, okay, then all of these factors will remain favorable to the bulls. Okay, if there comes a heavy gap down open because of Asian market and European markets, okay, in that case Dow Jones will have to recover my heavy support level and the Ichimoku cloud within first 2 hours, 1 or 2 hours. If it manages to do so, in that case again it will be favorable to the bulls. Okay, in the similar manner, okay, the S&P 500 is now heading to a little zone. Okay, yesterday it missed the zone, but now it is heading to the little zone. If it sustains at the zone, if it keeps on sustaining at the zone, okay, Monday in my pre-market analysis, if you are my Patreon community member, then in my pre-market analysis I will clear this, I will confirm, okay, whether like what is happening or what will happen here, okay, recovery or so. So well, it sustains here and the Dow Jones sustains here. In this case, S&P 500 will be in a condition to recover, to test and to try to recover what? 604x. Okay, and then whether there will be 608x or 614x for the rest of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday or Friday, it will then depend on what happens at 604x. But whether the S&P 500 will be able to recover or will fail, I will keep you posted through these daily precise updates of the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones. And other than these daily precise updates of the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones, I also give the stock market opportunities in the premium stocks of the US stock market. Premium stock means the top 30 or 40 companies, the blue chips of the US stock market. And that's not all, because I also give the mid-week update. This mid-week update is a video technical analysis just like this, the weekly technical analysis, and I discuss in detail all of the levels, zones, probable movement. And because generally this mid-week update is given every Wednesday, 3 or 4 hours before the open of the stock market. So what will happen in the S&P 500 on Wednesday, on Thursday, on Friday? I discuss all of this in detail, including the precise numbers, levels, everything in this, the midweek update video technical analysis. So guys, if you are looking for these daily precise updates of the S&P 500 every day from Monday through Friday, then you can join my Patreon community. I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. And guys, when you follow that link, then you will see that this is my Patreon page. This is my Patreon profile. And here you will see the 3 levels. These 2 tiers are same. The only difference between these 2 tiers is the geographical location and nothing else. So when you subscribe to either of these 2, then you will be getting all midweek update videos, the daily SP500 analysis, updates, movement and levels and zones, the stock market opportunities, minimum 5 to 10 every week. And when you subscribe to this, now this is a special tier, because in this tier you will be getting whatever you are going to get here, everything that is mentioned here. Other than that, you will be getting some more like entry and exit secrets, when to enter, when to exit, okay, when to book your profits, etc., etc. One premium hack, okay, premium hack which works with 100% accuracy and works with almost 100% of the times. Then one options trading strategy every month. Again, this strategy works 100% of the times and with 100% accuracy. Then you will be getting modified technical indicators and the options premium calculator, and there will be a one Zoom video session of 2 or 3 hours. So there will be a one-on-one Zoom video session, and I will teach you, I will tell you, I will share with you all of these secrets, hidden hacks, strategies through this Zoom video meeting. So this tier is very special because this allows you, or this gives you everything that is there, and also help you to learn more about the movement of the market, momentum, stock market secrets, and much more so that you can become self-reliant. But if you are explicitly looking for the hacks, 8 hacks or the 4 hacks or the options trading strategies and the premium calculator, then you can visit the shop section on my Patreon page and you will find these programs. Okay, you can opt for any of these programs and you can learn the hacks, modified technicals, options trading strategies and the premium calculator. And guys, if you notice, many people have joined my Patreon community for last many days, weeks, months, years, and they are getting these daily precise updates of the S&P 500, Dow Jones, and in a manner to the entire market every day from Monday through Friday, and they are very well aware of what is happening, why that is happening, and what is going to happen next. So guys, whenever you want to join my Patreon community, I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. You can follow that link and you can join my Patreon community and you are welcome. Now guys, I am going to discuss the third and the last point of the agenda of this S&P 500 weekly technical analysis. And here I will give you the probable movement of the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones, and in a manner to the entire market, like what is going to happen, what will happen, okay, to what level there will be the bullish movement, to what level there will be the bearish movement, etc., etc. Let's first discuss with the events which are very important for the next week. But guys, before that, so far if you have liked this video, then to show your appreciation, please hit like. Now in the next week on Thursday, the GDP data and some retail sales data, means the durable goods orders data, will be released on Thursday. Okay, now because on Friday the PCE data and the core PCE data will be released, this is why the market or the Wall Street may ignore or may neglect the GDP and the durable goods orders data and will be waiting for the actual PCE and core PCE data before giving any heavy movement. Okay, but whether the Wall Street will wait for Friday or not, it will be very much clear on Thursday in the first hour. Okay, by 10:30 a.m. Eastern time on Thursday, it will be very much clear. Okay, and if you are my Patreon community member, then I will tell you whether you should wait for Friday, okay, for the profit booking or for the changes to your trade, or you should do that immediately on Thursday. So these two data next week, okay, will be very heavy, especially the Friday PCE and core PCE data. The impact is expected to be heavy on the market. Okay. Now heavy on the market in a manner that the market will get until Wednesday, there is no problem at all. If the market want to remain bullish, it can remain bullish, not a problem. Okay, no problem at all. Then Thursday will also be there. Okay, if the market doesn't react much to the expected GDP data, okay, and the durable goods orders data, then also the market can remain bullish until Thursday. Friday, there is no guarantee, there is no confirmation, because on Friday, whatever will happen, it will be known through the PCE and the core PCE data. Once the data is released on Friday, then in the pre-market analysis, I will mention, okay, the consequences and expected levels, support and resistance levels, okay, and the movement, more bearish or more bullish or so. So now let's discuss the movement. Okay, what is going to happen in the next week? So first, guys, before that, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you want to get these daily precise updates of the S&P 500 every day from Monday through Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, every day, pre-market analysis, midday update, final update, then you can join my Patreon community. I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. So now what we know is that the market is allowed to trade bullish, to retrace bullish, and to remain bullish and to sustain bullish. Okay, but at the same time, the market will remain under pressure in a manner that any day, any time, okay, it can lose, and this bullish retrace will turn to bearish. And if there comes a staircase pattern, see, recently there was a bullish staircase pattern, okay, but now if there comes a bearish staircase pattern, then this will be an early indication for the correction, okay. But the recession will remain subjective, okay, although the chances of seeing the recession have increased heavily, okay, and this is expected to be until mid of 2026, okay. But again, it will be subjective, but the correction is there, okay, no doubt about that. This means that it is allowed to move up. Now, at first, any bullish movement in the S&P 500 will be restricted to 604x resistance level, okay. If there comes a closing above, now I am talking about Monday will be very important. If there comes a closing above 604x on Monday, then fine, no problem, okay. This will indicate that the market is still sustaining and is expected to sustain and to try for more bullish movement, okay. However, if there comes a closing below 604x on Monday, then it will be an indication of the bearish sentiments, bearish movement, pressure, means everything which you can say negative. Now, this negative will be like, how much negative it will be? It will be defined by the Dow Jones, because if the Dow Jones trades below, or if the Dow Jones closes below 43,300 or simply 43,300 on Monday. At the same time, the S&P 500 also closes below 604x on Monday. Two consecutive closings will be there, okay, and the Dow Jones will fail to hold and sustain and to close above 43,300. Okay, so this is not my calculated support level. No, my calculated support level is somewhere in between 40 in this range, 43,300. Okay, much above this 43,300. Okay, so just do not think that it is my calculated support level. In this case, what will happen? In this case, okay, it will be a clear sign indication of more fall, more bearishness. But now the problem is that on the lower level charts, okay, market is saturating. Market is hitting, or on Monday as early as like in the first half, I think in the first hour or in the second hour, okay, on the lower level charts, S&P 500 and Dow Jones both are expected to hit the saturation, and also the K is expected to hit 0 on the lower level charts. If it remains bullish for the entire day, then the D will also hit the 0. K and D will hit absolute 0, and intraday there will be a heavy reversal, bullish reversal. So that is why I am saying that chances of seeing this kind of condition wherein on Monday S&P 500 is closing below 604x and the Dow Jones is closing below 43,300 are there, but not much. Okay, and this will be very much clear in the first or second hour on Monday, whether there will be a potential closing below these levels or not. Okay, and in my midday update to my Patreon community member, okay, I will clear this thing, whether we are expecting this kind of closing or not. So yes, the bullish side movement. If the S&P 500 moves above, sustains above, and also closes above 604x on Monday, then what will happen? In that case, S&P 500 and also, okay, in some manner the Dow Jones will also be closing here. So this will then open the possibility of seeing 608x, okay, either on Monday itself, okay, or on Tuesday. But the good thing is that if on Monday, if the S&P 500 closes above 604x, then the bearish impact, okay, it will be absorbed, and we will not anticipate more bearish movement for like until Thursday, at least Thursday. And even if through the technicals, because now the MACD and the stochastic RSI are trading bearish, so through the technicals a sudden or a sharp fall is allowed. So even if there comes heavy fall or sudden fall, not heavy fall, sudden fall in the market, then also that fall will be limited and will be handled. Okay, just because of this one closing. Now, if the S&P 500, whenever, Monday, Tuesday, whenever, it manages to recover the 608x, okay, then 6100 is not a big deal. No, not a big deal. Then it will be looking for 614x. But now in this case, the S&P 500 will have to achieve, or will have to gain, or will have to try for 614x maximum by Wednesday end of the day. Okay, but if it trades in between 6100 and 6104x, 614x on Wednesday, then it will also get one more chance on Thursday. Now you might want to ask this one question: what if on Friday there comes a PCE and core PCE data, and this PCE or core PCE data is actually favorable to the Wall Street, favorable to the market? Then what will happen? In that case, will the S&P 500 will be able to clear the zone? No, not at all. Any bullish movement will be limited or will be restricted to the zone itself. When it will try for the zone, it will struggle and it will come down. Because if you remember, from October 2024, if you are my Patreon community member, or if you have subscribed to my YouTube channel, from October 2024, I have started to mention 614x will be the expected peak. But again and again in the month of November, then in the month of December, then January, then February, again and again S&P 500 delayed the test to this the 614x zone. Okay, it moved up, like in January it moved up, okay, made an high at 6128. There were chances in January that it will hit the zone and then will come down, but it did not. It made an high at 6128 and came down. That is why 614x was there, and it was confirmed that market will not come down before testing the 614x. The S&P 500 clears the 604x, moves up, okay, and shows reluctance to clear the 608x. Okay, at the same time Dow Jones moves up, and the Dow Jones is also showing reluctance to clear the 439xx. Okay, 439xx in the Dow Jones, 608x in the S&P 500. Okay, we can also include like a little to 6100. Okay, fine. So if the indices, both of these, the indices S&P 500 and the Dow Jones, shows reluctance to clear these key levels, these are the key levels. Okay, in that case what will happen? In that case there will be a reversal. What kind of reversal? In that case there will be the reversal in a manner that S&P 500 will be moving up 608x and then it will come down. Okay, like this. Similarly, Dow Jones will be moving up. Okay, Dow Jones will be moving up and then it will come down. Okay, now there comes one more heavy support to the S&P 500. This heavy support is in the form of the trend line. There is this the trend line. Okay, but this heavy support is not in 6000. This heavy support is in 59xx. Okay, so what happens that was the bullish side will be limited, or this kind of, that is okay, clear. Bearish side, okay, will trigger when it gives back-to-back closings below 60. Back-to-back closing means one closing was seen on Friday, one closing on Monday, okay, and then mostly like 90% it is clear it is going to come down. Okay, provided Dow Jones also closes below 43,300. Okay, although my level is 43,3xx. Okay, so I will check that through my level. Okay, not through 43,300. Now when the indices come down, okay, then what will happen? The next support S&P 500 is going to get, okay, will be 59, or the very heavy support which is around the trend line also is at 593x. Before that there are two more supports, okay, in between 6000 and 593x, but 593x is very heavy. Now why the 593x is very heavy? The 593x is very heavy because the trend line is there, the 593x itself is there, And also on the lower level charts, the moving averages will be there at the 593x when the S&P 500 reaches to the 593x. So what does this mean? This means that if the S&P 500 loses, if the S&P 500 keeps on coming down, okay, in this manner, that there comes no bullish reversal or very limited bullish reversal to 604x, and then on Monday onwards it gives back to back bearish candles, then 593x has the potential, okay, and has the capacity and has the capability to handle the fall and to throw the S&P 500 back into the bullish side. So a direct and a continuous fall in the S&P 500 is not allowed, and if this happens, then S&P 500 might not be able to test or hit the 593x. Rather, it will retrace much before 593x from around 596x or 597x. However, if S&P 500 gets a bullish retrace and then after testing the key levels it comes down, then yes, then in that case it is allowed to test the 593x. It can even lose the 593x to the Ichimoku cloud where there will be my support level, and then it will recover the 593x. And also guys, remember the Ichimoku cloud, the boundary of the Ichimoku cloud itself act as support and resistance level. That is why the Ichimoku cloud and my calculated support level 43.3XX will create a heavy support zone, and that is why you will notice that yesterday Dow Jones came down. There was very heavy selling, very heavy pressure, but the Dow Jones failed to breach the zone and recovered. This is why an intraday recovery to 604x was expected technically in the S&P 500, but the S&P 500 came under heavy pressure because of the tech stocks and failed to sustain and recover as the Dow Jones did. But guys, whatever will happen or whatever is going to happen, I will keep you updated through these daily precise updates of the S&P 500, which I give to my Patreon community members every day from Monday through Friday. And if you also want to get these daily precise updates of the S&P 500 every day from Monday through Friday, then you can join my Patreon community. I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. So guys, on Monday it will be very much clear what is going to happen to the S&P 500 and to the entire market for the rest of the week, or at least until Thursday end of the day. So I will mention everything in detail in the pre-market analysis, midday update and the final update. So guys, if you have liked this video, then hit like to appreciate my work. And guys, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And guys, if you have any questions that you want to ask, then please feel free to ask your question through the comment section.